Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at the crossroads of our own destiny. The world is constantly changing, circumstances are constantly shifting, and challenges appear at every corner. But let me tell you this, the one thing you can control, the one thing that no one can take away from you, is your life. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Today, I am going to share with you 6 powerful principles that will help you control your life completely. When you harness these principles, nothing can stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It shapes how you interpret experiences, how you interact with others, and ultimately, how you navigate through life. In many ways, your mindset is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal because it can either propel you forward or hold you back. To control your life completely, you must first take ownership of your mindset. Imagine that your mind is like a garden. Just as a garden needs care, attention, and the right conditions to thrive, so does your mind. You are the gardener of your own thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. In this garden, negative thoughts are like weeds. They may appear without invitation, but if you allow them to take root, they will suffocate the positive and constructive thoughts that allow you to grow. Positive thoughts, on the other hand, are like seeds you plant intentionally. If you nourish them with care, attention, and consistency, they will blossom into the fruits of your dreams and desires. Now, let's take a deeper look at how you can truly own your mindset and why it's so crucial to do so. One of the most well-known concepts in personal development is the power of a positive mindset. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about maintaining an optimistic outlook and choosing to focus on what you can control rather than dwelling on the things that are outside your power. When you adopt a positive mindset, you're not only helping to protect your peace of mind, but you're also strengthening your ability to face challenges head-on. A positive mindset is about recognizing that setbacks are not failures. They are simply opportunities for growth. It's about viewing obstacles as lessons in disguise. When things don't go as planned, a positive mindset allows you to bounce back with resilience, knowing that no failure is permanent. With this approach, you reframe every difficulty as a stepping stone toward greater success. This reframing allows you to control how you feel about any situation, giving you the power to overcome obstacles that would otherwise hold you back. Just as a positive mindset can propel you forward, a negative mindset can trap you in cycles of self-doubt, fear, and stagnation. Negative thinking has a way of clouding your judgment, making you feel as though every challenge is insurmountable. It makes you question your abilities, your worth, and your potential. If you let negative thoughts dominate your mind, you'll find that they become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Think about it. When you believe you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that the odds are stacked against you, what happens? You become less likely to take action, you procrastinate, you avoid taking risks. You hesitate. These mental blocks prevent you from moving forward, and before long, your dreams remain unfulfilled. A negative mindset limits your vision and keeps you stuck in a cycle of inaction. That's why it's so important to take responsibility for the thoughts you allow to occupy your mind. You have the ability to choose what you think about and what you focus on. If you constantly dwell on the negatives, you'll live in a state of scarcity and fear. But if you choose to focus on possibilities, opportunities, and solutions, you'll begin to attract the circumstances that align with that mindset. The good news is that you are not stuck with the mindset you have today. Your mindset is not fixed. It can be reprogrammed. Just as you would declutter your home, you can declutter your mind. You can replace negative thought patterns with empowering beliefs that will serve you better. The first step in reprogramming your mindset is awareness. You need to pay attention to the thoughts that come into your mind. Are they mostly positive or negative? Do they inspire you, or do they hold you back? Are they filled with possibility, or are they consumed with limitation? Becoming aware of your thought patterns is the first step in taking control of your mindset. Once you've identified the negative or limiting beliefs you hold, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is this thought helping me? How would my life change if I believed something different? When you challenge your negative thoughts, you start to realize that many of them are not based on facts or reality. They are simply perceptions or past experiences that no longer serve you. The key to shifting your mindset is to replace old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones. For example, if you've always believed that you're not good enough to achieve your goals, you can replace that thought with a new belief. I am more than capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. This is not about wishful thinking. It's about changing the way you perceive yourself and your potential. Reaffirm this new belief daily, and over time it will become your truth. One of the most powerful ways to control your mindset is through your self-talk. Self-talk is the inner dialogue that constantly runs through your mind. It's the way you speak to yourself, whether you're conscious of it or not. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your mindset. If your self-talk is negative, critical, and full of doubt, your mindset will reflect that. But if your self-talk is supportive, encouraging, and full of possibility, your mindset will begin to shift in a positive direction. You must become intentional about the language you use with yourself. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, counter it with a positive affirmation. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I am capable of overcoming this challenge." When you think, "I'm not good enough," counter it with, "I have everything I need to succeed." This simple practice, when done consistently, can transform your mindset and ultimately your life. While owning your mindset is an inside job, it's also influenced by the people and environments you surround yourself with. If you constantly find yourself around individuals who are negative, pessimistic, or unsupportive, it will be much harder to maintain a positive mindset. That's why it's important to curate your environment and relationships with intention. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you to be your best, and who challenge you to think bigger. Be mindful of the content you consume, whether it's the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, or the social media accounts you follow. If these things do not serve you and align with the mindset you want to cultivate, it's time to make some changes. To control your life completely, you must own your mindset. You must take full responsibility for the thoughts you allow to shape your reality. When you own your mindset, you become the architect of your future. You no longer let life dictate how you feel or what you achieve. Instead, you create the life you desire by changing the way you think, the way you talk to yourself, and the way you approach challenges. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you have. Use it wisely. Reprogram it when necessary. Nourish it with positive thoughts, self-love, and belief in your potential. The more you own your mindset, the more you will realize that you are in control of your life. You have the power to manifest your dreams, overcome obstacles, and shape your destiny. It all starts with the thoughts you choose to believe. Choose wisely and take full ownership of your mindset today. Taking responsibility for your actions is one of the most empowering choices you can make in life. It is the key that unlocks the door to growth, success, and personal freedom. When you take full responsibility for your actions, you stop being a passive participant in your life and become an active creator of your own reality. It's the moment when you stop blaming external factors, stop pointing fingers at others, and instead turn inward to examine what you can control: your decisions, your behavior, and your reactions. In a world where it's easy to fall into the trap of shifting blame, making excuses, or trying to avoid accountability, taking responsibility is not only a bold move, it's a transformative one. It signifies maturity, self-awareness, and an unshakable commitment to taking charge of your life. Today, let's explore why this is so essential and how you can begin to take responsibility for your actions in every area of your life. At its core, responsibility means acknowledging that you are the author of your own story. It's the recognition that the choices you make, no matter how big or small, create the consequences you experience in life. It's easy to blame your circumstances, your upbringing, your environment, or the people around you for where you are. But true power lies in realizing that you hold the pen. You decide how you respond to life's challenges, how you interpret situations, and how you shape your future. This doesn't mean that everything that happens to you is within your control. Life is unpredictable, and there are external factors beyond your influence. However, what you can control is your response to those circumstances. The decisions you make in response to adversity, the way you adapt to change, and the actions you take from this point forward are entirely within your hands. Once you grasp this concept, you begin to shift from a mindset of victimhood to one of ownership and empowerment. One of the most difficult aspects of responsibility is owning your mistakes. It's far easier to deny, deflect, or justify errors, especially when they cause discomfort or when others are affected by them. But the reality is that until you take full responsibility for your mistakes, you remain stuck in a state of denial and stagnation. Owning your mistakes is an act of courage and maturity. It's about facing the consequences of your actions head-on, without excuses or justifications. When you make a mistake, whether in your personal life, career, or relationships, it's vital to acknowledge it and take full accountability for the role you played. It may be uncomfortable or even painful, but it is necessary for growth. Without owning your mistakes, you cannot learn from them, and without learning, you cannot move forward. Taking responsibility for your mistakes doesn't mean beating yourself up or falling into self-blame. It means taking the lesson, making necessary amends, and using that experience to improve your future decisions. It's the acknowledgement that you are human, and while you will make mistakes, you also have the power to grow, correct course, and do better next time. Taking responsibility isn't just about acknowledging mistakes. It's about acting on your commitments and intentions. Too often, we make promises or set goals, but when things don't go as planned, we fall back on excuses. I didn't have enough time. I didn't have the right resources. It wasn't my fault. These are all common excuses that prevent you from stepping up and taking full responsibility for your actions. The key to taking responsibility is recognizing that action is what truly matters. Excuses are like quicks, and they pull you deeper into an action and prevent you from moving forward. When you take responsibility, you are saying, I am in charge of what happens next. I will not wait for circumstances to change or for others to intervene. I will take deliberate, purposeful action. It's about making a choice to show up, do the work, and honor your commitments, even when the road gets tough. Every time you act with intention and discipline, you strengthen your ability to take responsibility for your life. And this is the process that leads to success, fulfillment, and peace of mind. While taking responsibility for your actions may initially feel like a burden, it is actually one of the most liberating things you can do. When you take full accountability for your choices, you stop allowing external factors to dictate how you feel or how you act. You no longer feel like a victim of your circumstances because you realize that you have the power to control your responses, your decisions, and your future. This shift in mindset gives you the freedom to create the life you want, regardless of the challenges you face. By holding yourself accountable, You stop waiting for someone else to solve your problems, validate your feelings, or change your situation. You begin to trust in your own ability to take action, make decisions, and shape your own outcomes. And with that trust comes the confidence to take risks, step outside your comfort zone, and go after your goals with purpose and determination. Self-accountability also means being honest with yourself. It means reflecting on your actions without bias, recognizing where you could have done better, and committing to improving next time. This honesty breeds growth, and growth leads to mastery over your life. When you consistently hold yourself accountable, you build a reputation with yourself of being reliable, trustworthy, and capable. One area where taking responsibility can have an immediate and profound impact is in your relationships. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, are often strained due to a lack of accountability. When you take responsibility for your actions within these relationships, it builds trust, respect, and intimacy. Consider the difference between blaming someone else for a conflict and taking responsibility for your part in the situation. When you take responsibility, you open the door to constructive communication and growth. You no longer place blame, but rather focus on how to resolve the issue, improve the situation, and move forward. This level of maturity strengthens your relationships and deepens your connections with others. On the other hand, if you continually blame others or avoid responsibility, resentment begins to build. People start to feel unheard or unappreciated, and the relationship begins to deteriorate. Taking responsibility shows that you care enough to acknowledge your role, and it creates a space for others to do the same. In your career and personal life, taking responsibility for your actions is a fundamental trait of successful people. When you take ownership of your progress, you stop waiting for others to give you permission to succeed. You stop blaming the economy, your boss, your coworkers, or external circumstances for why you're not where you want to be. Instead, you look inward and ask yourself, what can I do to make progress? What steps can I take today to get closer to my goals? Taking responsibility in your career means stepping up to the plate, even when it's difficult. It means following through on commitments, taking the initiative, and being willing to make sacrifices to reach your objectives. It's about owning your career path, continuously improving your skills, and finding solutions to obstacles as they arise. Similarly, in your personal life, taking responsibility means aligning your actions with your values and goals. It means making conscious choices that reflect your priorities and taking the necessary steps to improve your health, well-being, and personal development. To control your life completely, you must take responsibility for your actions. By taking ownership of your decisions, mistakes, and behavior, you unlock the potential for growth, empowerment, and success. Responsibility frees you from the limitations of excuses and blame, allowing you to move forward with purpose and intention. It's a powerful mindset shift that changes the trajectory of your life. When you embrace responsibility, you no longer give away your power to others or circumstances. Instead, you take charge of your own destiny. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every moment you own shapes your future. The truth is simple. You are the architect of your life. The blueprint is in your hands. Take responsibility and watch how your life begins to transform. A life without direction is a life adrift. It's like setting out on a journey without a map, a destination, or even a clear idea of what you're looking for. You might move, you might even work hard, but without a clear goal, you're likely to end up somewhere you never intended to be. If you want to control your life completely, you must set clear and decisive goals. This is not a motivational catchphrase. It is a call to action, a strategy for success, and a declaration of purpose. Goals are more than dreams. They are structured intentions backed by commitment and discipline. They take your vision from the realm of imagination into the world of reality. A clear goal gives you focus. A decisive goal gives you power. Together, they create momentum that can move your life forward with intention and clarity. Let's dive deep into why clear and decisive goal setting is essential, how to do it effectively, and how it empowers you to take complete control of your life. At the core of every fulfilled and successful life is a set of well-defined goals. Goals give you direction. They give you something to aim for. Without them, your energy gets scattered, your focus gets fractured, and your efforts become diluted. But when you set a goal, you create a target. And when your mind has a target, your actions begin to align. Goals serve a deeper psychological and spiritual purpose too. They give your life meaning. They create a sense of progress. Even in tough times, a goal can serve as a beacon that keeps you moving forward. It doesn't matter if you're at the bottom of the valley or on the edge of a breakthrough. When your goals are clear, you never have to wonder what to do next. Clarity is power. A vague goal leads to vague results. Saying, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be healthier" sounds good, but what does that actually mean? Success in what? Health in what way? When you're unclear, your brain doesn't know what target to lock onto. The universe doesn't know what to align with. Clarity brings precision, and precision leads to action. Instead of saying, "I want to get fit," a clear goal sounds like this: "I will lose 20 pounds in 6 months by exercising 4 times a week and following a clean eating plan." That's not just a goal, that's a roadmap. It's measurable, specific, and time-bound. That level of clarity helps you track progress, stay motivated, and adjust your strategy as needed. Clarity also eliminates confusion. If you're constantly switching your goals or changing direction, you never give yourself the chance to fully commit. A clear goal brings stability to your life. It reduces internal conflict and eliminates distractions. Clarity gives you direction, but decisiveness gives you movement. Many people have dreams, even clear ones, but they hesitate, they procrastinate, they wait for the right time, for more money, more motivation, or someone else's approval. But success does not wait for permission. It favors the decisive. To be decisive means you have chosen your path, and you are not waiting for everything to be perfect before you begin. You start with what you have, where you are, and you commit to the process. Decisiveness closes the door to doubt. It silences the noise of maybe and replaces it with definitely, and that shift alone creates momentum. Understand this. Your indecision costs you time, peace, and opportunity. Every day you delay taking action on your goals, you push your brake through further into the future. But when you make a decision and act on it, you unleash the power of focus, urgency, and intention. A large goal can be overwhelming, but that's only if you look at it as one massive leap. The key is to break your goal into smaller, manageable steps. This turns the abstract into the attainable. Let's say your goal is to start your own business. That can feel like a mountain, but if you break it down, your steps might look like this. Research your market, identify your niche, create a business plan, register your business name, launch your first product or service. Market your brand on social media. Suddenly, what felt overwhelming becomes a series of simple, actionable tasks. Each step completed brings you closer to your goal and builds confidence. Every small win creates momentum. This is how progress is made, one intentional step at a time. Not all goals are created equal. A goal that doesn't align with your core values will never bring fulfillment, no matter how successful it looks on the outside. That's why before you set your goals, you need to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What do I want my life to represent? What kind of impact do I want to make? When your goals are aligned with your values, they become more than checklists. They become expressions of your purpose. You're no longer chasing empty achievements. You're pursuing a life of integrity and authenticity. You'll feel more motivated, more fulfilled, and more in control because your actions are aligned with your deepest belief. Your mind is a powerful tool. What you focus on consistently becomes your reality. One way to take ownership of your goals is to visualize them daily. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life your goals will create. Feel the emotion of that reality, hear the sounds, see the faces, smell the air, make the vision real in your imagination, and your actions will follow. In addition to visualization, speak affirmations that reinforce your goal. Use language that declares certainty. Say, I am building a thriving business that impacts lives. I am walking in discipline, health, and abundance. I have the focus and determination to accomplish every goal I set. Words carry power, and when spoken with faith and conviction, they begin to shape your belief system. And your belief system shapes your behavior. Setting goals is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of evaluation, adjustment, and recommitment. You must measure your progress regularly. Ask yourself, what have I accomplished this week? Where did I fall short and why? What adjustments do I need to make? This level of self-reflection keeps you on track. It reminds you of your mission and helps you stay focused. It also reveals areas where discipline needs to be tightened and where grace needs to be applied. Accountability can also play a powerful role. Share your goals with someone you trust. Surround yourself with people who will challenge you, support you, and remind you of what you said you wanted. The right accountability partner won't let you quit. They'll call you higher. They'll believe in you even when you're struggling to believe in yourself. Setting clear and decisive goals is not just a strategy. It is a declaration that you are serious about taking control of your life. It's the refusal to live aimlessly. It's the resolve to stop wandering and start building. It is the foundation for discipline, confidence, and breakthrough. When your goals are clear, your vision becomes sharper. When your goals are decisive, your actions become bolder. Life is too short to live without direction and too precious to live without purpose. So decide what you want, declare it with faith, break it down into action steps, and then go after it with everything you've got. Self-discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the power to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. In a world driven by convenience, comfort, and instant gratification, self-discipline is a rare and precious trait, but it is absolutely essential if you want to control your life completely. People admire success. They celebrate the finished product, the wealth, the influence, the platform, the transformation. But what they often fail to see is the quiet, consistent self-discipline that builds all of that behind the scenes. There is no success without sacrifice. There is no mastery without discipline. If you want to rise above mediocrity, if you want to break cycles, if you want to fulfill your purpose, you must cultivate self-discipline. Let's unpack what self-discipline really is, why it matters so much, how it shapes every area of your life, and how you can start developing it today. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in pursuit of a greater goal. It means making decisions based on your long-term vision instead of your short-term feelings. It means saying yes to what you truly want, even when it means saying no to what feels good in the moment. Self-discipline is not about perfection or punishment. It's not about being harsh with yourself or never making mistakes. It's about developing the strength to follow through, especially when it's inconvenient, especially when it's uncomfortable, and especially when nobody is watching. It's the decision to get up early and work on your dream instead of sleeping in. It's choosing the gym over the couch, the book over the binge, the budget over the impulse buy. It's staying true to your goals when the motivation has faded and all that remains is your why. If you want to control your life, there is no getting around this truth. Self-discipline is your foundation. Talent can get you started, but discipline keeps you going. Vision can give you inspiration, but discipline brings manifestation. Faith can ignite your spirit, but discipline fuels your actions. Without discipline, potential is wasted. Without discipline, time is lost. Without discipline, great intentions remain just that, intentions. It is self-discipline that moves you from desire to development, from dreaming to doing, from hoping to having. Discipline determines your habits, and your habits determine your destiny. The life you live today is a reflection of the habits you built yesterday. And the life you'll live tomorrow depends on the discipline you practice today. One of the biggest lies people believe is that they need to feel motivated to act, but motivation is fleeting. It rises and falls with your emotions. It's affected by your mood, your environment, and your energy levels. If you wait for motivation, you'll spend your life waiting. Self-discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It relies on what you've decided. When you cultivate discipline, you train yourself to act regardless of emotion. You wake up and move because you committed to your growth. You make healthy choices because your future depends on it. You do the hard things because excellence demands it. Discipline says, I don't need to feel like it. I just need to do it. And in doing it, you grow stronger. In doing it, you build trust with yourself. In doing it, you create momentum that no emotion can shake. Self-discipline is not something you either have or don't have. It's something you develop. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens with consistent use and weakens with neglect. You don't go from zero to hero overnight. Discipline is built in small daily decisions. It starts with waking up when your alarm goes off the first time. It grows when you resist the urge to procrastinate. It expands when you push through the workout, complete the project, or follow the budget. Start small, be consistent. Focus on the process, not perfection. Each time you exercise discipline, you reinforce your ability to follow through. You teach your body and mind that you are in charge. Not your cravings, not your comfort, not your excuses. Self-discipline isn't just for athletes or entrepreneurs. It touches every area of your life. Physical health, your energy, strength, and longevity are shaped by what you eat, how you move, and how you rest. Discipline is required to choose nourishment over convenience, movement over laziness, rest over burnout. Mental focus. In an age of endless distractions, discipline allows you to concentrate, think deeply, and stay present. It helps you guard your mind from negativity, fear, and comparison. Spiritual growth. Whether you practice faith, meditation, or reflection, discipline is necessary to stay connected and centered. You don't grow spiritually without intentional time, space, and surrender. Financial stability. Budgeting, saving, investing, and avoiding unnecessary debt all require discipline. It's the choice to think long-term, to delay gratification, and to manage your resources wisely. Relationships. It takes discipline to communicate with kindness, to forgive quickly, to be present, and to invest time in people who matter. Healthy relationships aren't built by accident. They're built by consistent effort. Discipline is the thread that weaves excellence into the fabric of your entire life. Know your why. Self-discipline is hard, but your why makes it worth it. Get clear about your vision. What are you working toward? What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Write it down. See it often. Let your why guide your choices. Create structure. Discipline thrives in structure. Design a routine that supports your goals. Schedule your priorities, remove temptations, prepare in advance. Don't rely on willpower. Create an environment that helps you win. Start small. Don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Pick one area, one habit, one discipline. Master it, then add another. Small wins create big change over time. Embrace discomfort. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. When it feels hard, that's when it matters most. Lean in, push through. Remind yourself that discipline now equals freedom later. Track your progress. What gets measured gets improved. Keep a journal. Use a habit tracker. Celebrate milestones. Progress fuels motivation and builds confidence. Practice self-compassion. You will stumble. You will fall short. That's okay. Don't quit. Don't shame yourself. Learn, reset, and keep going. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Self-discipline doesn't take from you. It gives to you. It gives you freedom. Freedom from regret, chaos, and missed opportunities. It gives you confidence, the kind that comes from keeping promises to yourself. It gives you peace, the kind that comes from knowing you're doing the best you can with what you have. Discipline builds character. It creates consistency. It strengthens resilience. And in the long run, it creates the life you were born to live. The truth is, everyone wants results. Few want the routine. Everyone wants success. Few want the sacrifice. But those who choose the way of discipline, day after day, choice after choice, will see doors open that others only dream about. Before you can lead others, before you can build something lasting, before you can rise to greatness, you must learn to lead yourself, and that begins with self-discipline. No one can do it for you. No one can push you forever. You must decide. You must commit. You must show up for your own life every single day, because when you cultivate self-discipline, you don't just change what you do. You change who you are, and who you become will determine the level of life you're able to experience. So rise up. Choose the path of discipline. Do the work. Keep the promise, and watch as your life transforms one choice at a time. You can't control every circumstance in life, but you can control who you allow into your space. If you're going to take full control of your life, one of the most powerful decisions you will ever make is choosing who you walk with. Your inner circle is not just a reflection of who you are. It's a prophecy of who you are becoming. Because whether you realize it or not, you are influenced by the people around you every single day. Their thoughts echo in your mind. Their habits rub off on you. Their expectations shape your own. That's why if you want to rise, you've got to surround yourself with the right people. People who challenge you, sharpen you, and call out the greatness inside of you. Because proximity is power. And when you're intentional about who's in your circle, you position yourself for growth, success, and transformation. Let's dig deep into why your relationships matter, how to identify the right people for your journey, how to release the wrong ones, and how your circle affects every area of your life. The old saying is true, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You don't just attract what you want. You attract what you are and what you allow. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, laziness, small thinking, and fear, don't be surprised when you start to mirror those traits. But if you walk with people who are wise, driven, humble, and growth-minded, you'll begin to rise to that level. Humans are wired for connection, and connection leads to influence. That's why you need to guard your circle like your destiny depends on it, because it does. You're not just looking for friends who make you comfortable. You need people who stretch you, who won't let you settle, who remind you of who you are when life tries to make you forget. That's what the right people do. They don't just support you, they elevate you. Your mindset, the way you think, believe, and interpret the world, is shaped heavily by your relationships. If you're around people who constantly complain, you'll begin to adopt a victim mentality. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses, you'll start lowering your standards too. But if you surround yourself with visionaries, with people who take ownership, who set goals, who pursue excellence, you'll start thinking bigger. You'll start believing that more is possible, that you're not stuck, that you can grow, can rise, can win. Your relationships act like mirrors. They either reflect back the greatness within you or the doubt you're trying to escape. That's why this isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Surrounding yourself with the right people is not a suggestion. It's a survival strategy for those who want to live on purpose. So how do you recognize the right people? You don't need perfect people. You need purposeful people. Look for these traits. People with integrity, they keep their word, even when it's inconvenient. You can trust them. You don't have to second guess their motives. They live with authenticity and character. People with vision, they're not just existing. They're building, growing, stretching. They talk about ideas, not just people. They are driven by something greater than themselves. People who hold you accountable, these aren't yes men or cheerleaders who flatter you. These are people who love you enough to confront you, who call you out when you're off track and won't let you shrink to fit your fears. People who celebrate you when you win. They don't get jealous. They don't compete with you. They celebrate with you. They want to see you thrive, not just survive. People who make you better. Their presence sharpens your thinking, increases your faith, and inspires your discipline. They are a positive pressure pushing you toward excellence. These are the people who deserve space in your inner circle, not because they're perfect, but because they're aligned with your values, your mission, and your future. Let's be honest, not everyone can go where you're going, and sometimes the hardest part of growth is letting go, but you cannot elevate your life while dragging dead weight. There are people who were good for your past, but are toxic to your future. There are people who were necessary for your survival, but are no longer aligned with your purpose. And it takes courage to release them, not in bitterness, but in clarity. Do they drain me or develop me? Do they feed my fears or feed my